Shout out to the real ones. You're watching New York Knicks Now by Chat Sports. I'm your host, Marshall Green. We have a loaded show today. We're going to go through the latest injury news surrounding Cam Reddish, and there's also some other players on the injury report before the Knicks preseason game this Friday against the Indiana Pacers. We're going to break all that down. We got some injury updates on Reddish, and then we're going to take a look at Victor Wembanyama versus Scoot Henderson because the Knicks, they sent some scouts to the game between the Metropolitan 92s and the G League Ignite. So we're going to talk about it because the Knicks, they could have 4 first-round picks in this draft. But look, subscribe to New York Knicks Now for videos every single day on the latest Knicks news and rumors. We are less than 150 subs away from getting to 14,000 subs on the channel. Let's do it for Mace. You bleed blue and orange? Go down right now and hit that big red button. Let's start with Cam Reddish on the injury front because, as we know, he left the first preseason game with a sprained ankle. I thought he looked good in the first quarter. Didn't shoot all that well, 1 of 6, but he had a nice play on defense. He pushed the ball in the fast break. I like the cohesion that him and RJ Barrett showed on that fast break. We know that Cam Reddish has all the potential to be a superstar in this league. He just cannot afford, and when I mean not afford, I'm talking about dollars. He cannot afford to be injured this season because his college teammates, Zion Williamson and RJ Barrett, they just signed contracts of over $100 million. Cam Reddish, he's trying to get himself one of those. If you want to be rich, you want to make 100 M's, you got to be healthy this year, Cam Reddish. The best ability is availability. You got to be durable, and I think he can be, and I do think he's been great in this league. But he has to be available. He is officially questionable for Friday night's game this Friday. Going to be the second preseason game for the New York Knicks. You got the Pacers. You got the Knicks. We got Friday Night Knicks is back. Cue the theme song, Friday Night Knicks. If you know, you know. It's going to be a lot of fun. Pacers, Knicks. I'm excited to see Jalen Brunson again play basketball because it's just one of my favorite things to do at this point is watch Big Bucket Brunson just play basketball. RJ Barrett, Julius Randle, Obi, IQ, Hartenstein, all those guys. Excited to watch them play. And we're going to be live on the channel this Friday starting at about 7 Eastern. We'll be doing play-by-play, having some fun, audience interaction, just a little hangout while the Knicks are playing. So if you want to join us, hit that big red button and come to the channel back Friday around 7 p.m. Let's go through the full injury report. Guys that are questionable for the game versus the Pacers coming up tomorrow. Svi Mykhailiuk, he's dealing with the back injury. He's questionable. So is Cam Reddish is officially questionable. And Jericho Sims, he's still dealing with that same sore groin. He is questionable. Honestly, I don't think any of these guys are going to play. It's the preseason. No reason to push it if you're dealing with any injury. I know they want to get out there, especially Svi, a guy that's competing for this roster to make a spot. Cam Reddish, he's competing for minutes. He's going to want all the playing time he can get. But if you're not healthy and you're going to make yourself more hurt going down the road, there's no reason to risk it for the preseason. 2 guys are going to be out, though, for the New York Knicks. Quentin Grimes, he's still dealing with that sore foot. Was in a walking boot a little bit last week. He's done a little bit more in practice as the days have gone by. Still dealing with that foot. Seems like a precautionary move by the Knicks and their medical staff, Grimes, he's not going to play tomorrow. And DaQuan Jeffries, he also is not going to play. He is currently in concussion protocol. I want to focus in, though, on Cam Reddish a little bit right here because he's been hurt every single year of his career. He's had injuries pop up, and it's forced him to miss a lot of time in the NBA. So I want to ask you guys, because I know a lot of you are big Cam Reddish guys, and I like Cam. You just got to go out there and do it at this point going into year 4. Are you worried about his durability going forward? Are you worried about it? Do you question if he can stay healthy for 82 games? I want to hear from you. Type Y for yes if you are worried about his durability, or if you're not and you're just thinking it's a rolled ankle, it's the preseason, unfortunate. That's cool. I feel that. You can go down and type N for no. Also, make sure you get yourself a Knicks Now Real One t-shirt because all the real ones out there, they've got their shirts. They're selling off the shelves, and the deals are not going to last forever. So get your shirt today. Go to chatsports.com/realknicks. And if you get a shirt, take a picture of you wearing it and send it to me on Twitter at @MarshallGreen_, and we'll feature you on the show. This tweet from Ian Begley back on October 4th when the Metropolitan 92s. We're playing against the G League Ignite. Ian Begley said the Knicks are in attendance for Scoot Henderson and the G League Ignite versus Victor Wembanyama and the Metropolitans 92 in Las Vegas tonight. I'm sure all 30 teams have someone at the game. They're currently playing right now, and it seems like the Knicks once again have some NBA scouts and draft scouts at the game, and as they should. These are going to be the top 2 picks in the NBA draft. The Knicks, they're not going to end up that high in the draft, but hey, they're scouting them. They do have 4 first-round picks potentially this year, so let's talk a little bit. I mean, look, this is a Knicks channel, but we just like to talk ball. Victor Wembanyama is literally a freak. 7'5", just dominated the Ignite earlier this week. 37 points, 4 rebounds, 5 blocks, and at 7'5", he shot 7 of 11 from 3. Imagine if Rudy Gobert and Kevin Durant had a baby, that would be Victor Wembanyama. He's literally those 2 guys cloned. He's got the skill, the shot-making ability, and the shot creation of Kevin Durant, and the size and the rim protection of Rudy Gobert. The thing for Scoot Henderson is, if Victor was never born, he'd probably be the number 1 player in this draft, and that's what Victor said. Scoot is awesome as well. He reminds me of Derrick Rose and Damian Lillard. The quickness, the ability to get to the cup, the creative finishes that he has gives me D Rose vibes, but the way he's able to just shoot the basketball so fluently from all 3 levels, mid-range, 3-point range, he could do it all on the basketball court. I mean, he was great against Victor's team, 28 points, 5 rebounds, 9 assists, and 11 of 21. He gives me Lillard and Derrick Rose vibes. I think you could make an argument for either one of these guys to be the number 1 pick. Look, Scoot Henderson, he's a guard. It's a guards league, and he's not 7'5". A lot of people are scared about someone being that tall, and you're having to deal with someone that's 7'5", and all the injury history and all the data and analysis that we have of super tall players being injury prone in the NBA. Those are the concerns about Victor Wembanyama. But I want to ask everybody watching, who's the better prospect? Type VW for Victor, or if you think Scoot. What an awesome nickname, by the way. Scoot Henderson. You can go down and type SH. I do want to focus on what the Knicks draft capital and their draft assets are looking like heading into the 2023 NBA draft. They do have their own first-round pick. They also own the rights to the Pistons, the Mavericks, and the Wizards pick, but those are all heavily protected, meaning the Mavs pick is top 10 protected. So if it falls within the top 10, the pick goes back to the Mavs, and it rolls over into the next year, and so on and so forth for the Pistons and Wizards. Top 18 for the Pistons, top 14 for the Wizards. I think that Mavs pick will convey. The Wizards is dicey. I don't think the Pistons pick will convey this year. That'll roll over into next year. So I expect the Knicks to have at least 2 first-round picks coming into this year, maybe 3, but they are loaded with draft capital going forward. And look, this draft is absolutely loaded. It's one of the best drafts in recent history. We talked about Victor. We talked about Scoop. Amen Thompson, he plays for the Overtime Elite. He's 19 years old, a point guard, shooting guard. We also got Nick Smith out of Arkansas. Shout out to Trace. He's a Arkansas alum. He says Nick Smith is a baller. I agree. And then you got Cameron Whitmore of Villanova, small forward. Then you got Derek Lively, a center out of Duke. Keontae George, the shooting guard out of Baylor. Asur Thompson, one of the Thompson twins that plays for the Overtime Elite League. Then you got Dylan Mitchell at the number 9 spot, a forward out of Texas. And then you got Khalil Ware, a center out of Oregon. There's a lot of great players in this draft. It is absolutely loaded. And with the Knicks potentially having top 2 picks inside the top 20 maybe, I mean, you're going to have 2 picks. You're going to get that Mavs pick. You're going to have your own pick. Are the Knicks going to try to make a move and move up and package those picks and move on? I don't know. It just comes down to what the Knicks want to do. They don't really have the roster spot or the available spots on the bench to go and add 2 picks in this first-round draft. I could see them either packaging those picks to move up in the NBA draft. You're not going to get to 1. You're not going to get to 2. Either you package those picks to move up in the draft, or you package those picks to make a trade for a superstar. At some point, you're going to have to consolidate assets because you have 7 first-round picks in the next 3 years, and you have 8 tradable first-round picks in your pocket right now. At some point, the Knicks will have to consolidate assets. And look, if you're trying to move up in this draft, it's a good draft to do it because there is a lot of top-end talent. I appreciate everybody that's made New York Knicks Now a part of their day today. If you made it this far in the video, if you made it to the end, that makes you a real one. So comment, real one, down below.